Welcome to Zengage Yoga. I'm Bee, and this is Gentle and Spicy. Come to a comfortable seat, settling in, allowing everything to be just as it is. Palms face down to ground, face up to receive. Set an intention for today's practice. Any person, place, thing, or idea that you'd like to devote today's practice to. And I invite you to breathe Ujjayi, victorious breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Straight spine. Tip your head forward, bringing your chin to your chest, and roll one ear over one shoulder, stretching the side of the neck, and back chin to chest, rolling to the other side, stacking that ear over that shoulder. Rolling the chin back to the chest, stack each vertebrae of the neck on top of one another, and tilt the head, stacking the ear on that shoulder. Back to center and tilting to the other side. You can feel this down your arms. And if you follow that line, that energy goes out the wrists and the fingertips. Slowly open your eyes and find child's pose. Knees mats width distance apart, big toes touching. Arms outstretched to the top of the mat. Fingertips pressing down, all the knuckles of the hands pressing down, elbows hovering just slightly. If you have the space, connect your hips to your heels. Melt the shoulder blades down the back. Slowly roll your forehead side to side, massaging that third eye center, that space in between the eyebrows, following your breath, warming up the head and the neck. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands off one side of the mat, stacking hand on top of hand, stretching the side body with each breath. Belly breathing, Ujjayi breathing, in through the nose and out through the nose. Looking under that armpit. Stretch a little farther. And come back to center. Pause to take a breath here. And exhale to the other side of the mat. Stacking hand on hand, stretching the side body. Breathing deeply. Long line from the spine to the hip. Keeping the back of the neck straight and strong. And melting over that knee. Inhale back to center, child's pose. Rise up into rocking child's, keeping child's pose legs and finding upward facing dog in your arms, opening the heart with each inhale, upward facing dog arms. Exhale back to child's, bringing your heels with your glutes as you roll onto your knees, pressing the pelvis down and opening the heart, straightening the elbows, finding strength in the grounded hands. Follow your breath. Inhale, upward facing dog with the upper body. Exhale, child's pose. Once you feel complete, come into tabletop pose, shoulders over elbows over wrists, hips over knees, the shins and the tops of the feet pressing down, straight spine, finding neutral tabletop. And on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, cow pose. On the exhale, arch the back, round the shoulders and the pelvis, cat. Following the breath, cow on the inhale, cat on the exhale. Take any organic movement you want here. C curves, kicking the heels off to one side of the mat and looking back at them. Stretching the side body, keeping the spine long and lean. Thread the needle, arm out to the side and up. Thread it underneath the other armpit. You may extend your other arm, you may extend your leg, looking out up to the ceiling if you have the space, shoulder stretch here. Taking whatever you need to get the right stretch. Breathing. Feeling each body sensation. Back to center. Tabletop and take it to the other side, arm out to the side and up above, threading through, thread the needle. Again, taking whatever you need to get a nice shoulder stretch. Pressing down into that grounded shin and top of the foot. Back to center. Spinal balance. One arm out to the top of the mat, opposite leg kicking back. Flex and point the toes and flex and point the risen hand. If you have the space, bend the knee and find a bind with your hand and your foot. Spinal balance to the other side, arm out to the front, leg kicking back, ankle and wrist circles here, grounding down into those grounded appendages. Reaching back, bending the knee. Can you find it? There it is. Kicking back, mini back bend here, keeping the back of the neck long. No wrinkles in the back of the neck. Without flinging, release your bind. Tuck the toes, hover the knees. Shake the head no, nod the head yes. Push back into downward facing dog. Shorten your dog and find connection opposite hand to opposite ankle. Looking underneath the armpit, opening the heart out to the side. Back back to center and over to the other side, hand to ankle, looking out and under. Breathing through the nose. Back to center. Find high plank. In our first chaturanga of the day. Lower to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high on the toes, melt the heels to the back corner of the mat. Bend your knees. Inhale, high on the toes, melt the heels down the center line. Inhale, high on the toes, melt the heels to the other corner of the mat. Bending the knees. Inhale, high on the toes, down center. Inhale, high on the toes, separate the heels. Inhale, high on the toes, and step forward to your hands, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, Tadasana, reaching up, looking up. Hands to prayer heart, remembering our intention, remembering what, who, or how we may be devoting our practice today. Swan dive forward, exhale, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, chaturanga, high plank to low, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high on the toes, step forward, halfway lift, fold forward, inhale, Tadasana, swan dive on the exhale, forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold, chaturanga. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale high on the toes, step forward, halfway lift, forward fold, Tadasana. Swan dive, halfway lift, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hey, Schroeder. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3-point, ankle circles, bend the knee, hip circles. 3-point other side, ankle circles, bend the knee, hip circles. Warrior 1. Feel this body sensation. Feel warrior. Feel how powerful. Hip points tracking forward. Exhale, warrior 2. Open the hips. And if your shoulders are up by your ears, play with flipping your hands up and down, melting those shoulders down and back. Modified side angle, reaching up. Revolve side angle, high on those back toes. Peel onto the blade of both feet, horizon. Back to revolve side angle. Thread the foot through, revolve side plank. Hips high, heart open, breathing. Side plank, stacking foot on foot, stacking your shoulder over your elbow, over your wrist, extending that arm up, opening out to the side. Chaturanga. Warrior 1, other side. Register this body sensation, how different sides can be. Exhale, warrior 2. Take whatever you need. Modified side angle, elbow to knee, reaching up. Revolve side angle, ground the hand, peel open horizon. Lift the hips higher. Revolve side angle. Revolve side plank, thread the foot through. Look up to your fingertips. Side plank. Take whatever you need to find the proper position, stability, and then mobility. Shaking is good. Shaking is discovery. Chaturanga. Warrior 1. Exhale, Warrior 2. Modified or extended side angle. Revolve side angle. Horizon. Revolve side angle, shift into revolve side plank. Side plank. Ground down, lift a leg if you may. Keep those hips high. Chaturanga. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Modified or extended side angle. Revolve side angle, high on those back toes. Horizon, rest on the blades of each foot. Revolve side plank, hips high. Side plank, find your stability. Then add mobility. Flex the toes. Chaturanga. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Extended side angle, or you may find a bind. Extended side angle, revolve side angle, horizon. Revolve side plank. Side plank. It's a mountain without a top, people, so anywhere you've been, you can go further. And play with it. Don't take yourself so seriously. Chaturanga. Warrior 1, again begin. Warrior 2. Extended side angle or find a bind. Opening the heart, pointing the elbows in either direction. Revolve side angle. Revolve side plank. Side plank. Again, play. Find stability, then mobility, then play with any binds. And laugh about it. Chaturanga. Inhale high on the toes, melt the heels down center. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Hinge back into chair pose, knees touching, tracking parallel. Hinge back only so far as it lights up the core, hands to prayer heart, twist open. Twisted chair. This is a core exercise. Back to center, exhale, fold, peace sign fingers wrapped around big toes, bend the knees, splay the elbows, fold deeply. Release the neck, fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Release your bind, heel toe your feet back together, rise up into neutral chair pose. Lighting up that core, breathing, hands to prayer heart, twist to the other side. You can connect elbow to knee, you can connect hand to knee, you can have prayer hands. Back to center, fold forward, heel toe the feet, hips width distance apart, and place your big toe mounds in the palms of your hands, gorilla pose, folding forward, bending the knees, bending the elbows, releasing the neck, putting weight into those palms with your feet and also pressing down into the heels so that you don't tip over. Release your bind, ground one hand, bend that same knee, open out to the side. Exhale back to center, take it over to the other side, ground the hand, bend the knee, open out. Bent knee twist. Forward fold, halfway lift, inhale, heel toe the feet back together, forward fold, inhale, Tadasana. Feet mats width distance apart, toes pointing 45 degrees in either direction. Squat down into garland or malasana squat, creating tension between the backs of the forearms, the elbows, and the knees. Pointing the tailbone down, pressing the palms together, pressing the feet down. Find crow, ground the hands, place the knees in the armpits, support the shins with the backs of the forearms, lift one set of toes, breathe. Set your gaze down, push back, high plank. Downward facing dog. Step your feet to meet your hands. Inhale to chair. Hands to prayer heart. Support your knee with one elbow, support your hip with the other elbow, ground the hands, side crow. Lifting the toes, engaging the core. Back to neutral chair. Hands to prayer heart. Try the other side. Hook the elbow. Make a shelf for your hip. Lift the toes, engage the core, breathe. Back to center. Inhale high on the toes, melt the back down. Lowering the hips to the heels, roll onto the back. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide, hand on the belly, hand on the heart. Register this body sensation. Recognize what you've done. Set up for bridge. I'd like you to be able to graze your ankles with your fingertips. Find a bind. Come on to the outer edges of the shoulders. Ground down into the feet. Bridge, pointing the hip points up and back. Protecting the lower back, come down, release your bind. Constructive rest, knees together, feet mat's width distance apart, hands on the belly. Register this body sensation. Set up for bridge again. Grounding down into the feet, grounding down into the blades of the shoulders. Binding the hands together, palms together, hip points up and back. Release the glutes. Breathe. Lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana, knees wide, soles of the feet together. Set up for wheel, placing the hands by the ears, grounding down into the palms and the feet, lifting up, pointing the hip points up and back. If you have the space, come high on the toes. Walk your feet closer to your hands. You can play with some tricep dips, dipping your forehead to the mat, grounding down. Protect the lower back, come down, Supta Baddha Konasana, knees wide, feet together, hand on the belly, hand on the heart. Setting up for a second wheel pose. Graze the ankles and place the hands behind the shoulders, lift up in all four corners of the body, pointing the hip points up to the sky. Protect the neck and the lower back, come down. Constructive rest, knees together, feet wide. Coming back to breath. Setting up for core. Bicycle, elbow to opposite knee, extending one leg. Engage the core. I like to play with crunching every other breath or every 3 breaths or 3 crunches per breath, playing with it, getting out of your head, out of default. Finding extension. Getting those shoulders off of the mat. Yogi crunches, legs high, pulse and lower. Bring them up, pulse and lower. breathing. Grounding down into the palms of the hands. High plank. Engage the core. Lower to low plank. Hip dips. Side to side, coming onto the blades of the feet. High on the toes, keeping the neck long. Keeping the shoulders straight and square, just dipping the hips to either side, engaging the core. And rest back into child's pose. Registering your body here. Recognizing what a few minutes of core can do to change your body sensations. Come back to breath. Even, slow breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Come back to intention. Slide into puppy pose, hips over knees, shins and the tops of the feet pressing down, the arms long like in child's pose. And if you have the space, extend the chin to the mat. Rise into high plank and lower down onto the belly, setting up for locust. Arms behind you, lift the ankles and the heart. Teeter on the belly, breathing, neck long. Flex and point the feet, flex and point the hands, and lower down onto one cheek. Rise back up into locust number 2, find a bind. Breathe in and out, teetering on that belly. And release. Locust again with arms out in front. Superhero locust. Reach back, bow. Track the knees together, raise the heart. Kick back into the hands. Rock on the belly. Release the bind back into superhero locust and lower down onto one cheek. Windshield wiper the legs to release the lower back. Breathe. Rise up into downward facing dog. Reset. Inhale through the nose and out the mouth. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Extended side angle. Moving into bird of paradise. Find the bind. Step your back foot up to meet the front. Ground down into that leg. Lift the shoulders and the bent knee over that shoulder. Slowly rise up. Stability before mobility. Straighten the spine. Open the heart, then extend the risen leg. Flex and point the toes. Breathe. Lower back down. Find extended side angle. Revolve side angle. Horizon, peel onto the blades of the feet. Back to revolve side angle. Chaturanga. Warrior One. Moving through Bird of Paradise on the other side. Exhale, Warrior Two. Extended side angle. Find your bind. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Slowly rise. Forgetting about that leg over that shoulder. Rising in that grounded foot, stabilizing that leg, then extending. Opening the heart, breathing. Coming on down. Extended side angle. Revolve side angle. Dipping into horizon, keeping those hips high. Chaturanga. High plank to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Cheetah, knee to nose. 3 point. Cross plank cheetah. 3 point. Mountain climber prep. 3 point. Other side, cheetah, knee to nose. 3 point. Cross plank cheetah. 3 point. Mountain climber prep. 3 point. Downward facing dog. Again, cheetah, knee to nose. Cross plank cheetah. Mountain climber prep. Downward facing dog. Other side, cheetah, knee to nose. Cross plank. Mountain climber prep. Cheetah, knee to nose. Cross plank cheetah. Mountain climber prep. Downward facing dog. Other side. 3 point. Cheetah, knee to nose. 3 point. Cross plank cheetah. 3 point. Mountain climber prep. Downward facing dog. High on the toes. Step forward to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Eagle. Knee over knee, arm under arm. Straighten the spine, tilt the tailbone. Tilt the pelvis so the tailbone is pointed directly down. Long line. Stability before mobility. Connect elbows to knees. Engage the core and fold. Inhale, lift back up. Engage the core. Exhale, fold. Tree pose. Sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Grow your branches. And I challenge you to make yourself fall out of this pose. Don't take yourself so seriously. Close your eyes, reach back, sway in the wind if you have to. Eagle, other side. Knee over knee, arm under arm. Straight spine, straight neck. Engage the core. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift back up, find stability. Exhale, fold. Elbows to knees. Inhale, lift back up. Tree. Place the sole of the foot on the inner thigh. Start with prayer hands, grow your branches. Look up, look back, reach back, close the eyes, sway in the wind, fall out. Knee or big toe hold. Open out. Look to the other side. Bring the foot back to center. Release your bind. Keep the foot raised. Lower and pulse. Knee or big toe hold on the other side. Bend the knee as much as you need to straighten the spine and open the heart. Open out, look to the other side, flex the heel. Keep that leg risen, release the bind, pulse and lower. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, fold forward. Downward facing dog. Chaturanga. Triangle. However you want to get there. Wide leg forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. If you are an inverter, inversions are welcome here. Otherwise, side to side lunges, keeping those heels grounded, keeping the hips low, back straight. Any inverters, come on down. Wide leg forward fold. Turn to the back of the mat. Triangle on the other side. Intense leg stretch. Shorten your stance. Fold over the front leg. Toes tracking to 12 o'clock. Crown of the head tracking to 12 o'clock. Follow through 5-point star to intense leg stretch on the other side. Keeping your stance short, your heels grounded. Straight neck, straight back. Chaturanga. Lizard lunge. You're welcome to stay on your fingertips or come down to your forearms. If you have any blocks or any props you would like to use to stay in this position. Opening the hip. take whatever you need. If you'd like a quad stretch, reach back and find a bind with the toes in your hand. Slowly, without flinging, release your bind. Shift back into half or full splits. Flexing the toes back to the face. Ground one hand, twist out. Open the side body. Ground the other hand, twist open to the other side. Low lunge. Shift into camel, placing your hands at your lower back, fingertips facing up or facing down. Protect the lower back and find connection between the fingertips and the heels if you have the space. Camel pose. Pointing the hips forward. Protect the lower back, coming back up. Downward facing dog. Lizard lunge on the other side. Again, you're welcome to stay on your fingertips. You can come down to your forearms. Whatever you need in this pose to get the proper stretch. If you would like the quad stretch, you can take your inside arm and connect it with the toes of the back foot. Slowly pulling the heel to the glute. And without flinging, releasing the bind. Half or full splits. Ground one hand, open out. Twisting, splits. Ground the other hand, open out to the other side. Flexing the toes back to the face. Low lunge. Breathing, remembering your intention. Rabbit's pose. If you have the space, roll onto the crown of the head, keeping the neck long. placing your knees in your eye sockets. Remembering your intention, remembering your breath. Find high plank, lower to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Half pigeon. Shin parallel with the top of the mat. I like to self-assist with my forearm on the sole of my foot and then a fist underneath my forehead. Grounding down into the top of the back foot. Opening the hip socket. Rise up, swing the leg around, plant it on the outside of that bent knee, hug the knee in and twist. Shoulder leading, chin following. Inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, twist. Inhale back to center, hug the knee in and counter twist to the other side. Back to center, half pigeon on the other side. Shin parallel with the top of the mat, the back foot straight out behind you. You're welcome to self-assist or just rest with what is. Rise back up, bring weight into that hip, swing the back leg around, hug the knee in, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Hug the knee in on an inhale. Exhale, counter twist the other direction. Shoulder leading, chin following. Back to center, staff pose. Move the meaty bits from your hip points. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold over both extended legs, releasing the lower back. Lengthening on each inhale and folding deeper on each exhale. Slowly rise up, stacking each vertebrae on the next, with the neck and the head coming up last. Seated tree. Fold over that extended leg. Resting forehead onto your knee. Slowly rise up. Seated tree on the other side. Bend the opposite knee, place the foot on the inner thigh, and fold over that extended leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. You may find a bind with the foot and the hands, but mainly the idea of this pose is to release. Rise on up and come down onto your back. Hug your knees in. Give yourself a great big hug, the biggest hug you've given anyone all week. Rock slowly side to side, massaging the lower back. Release one knee, extend that leg, and with the knee hugged in, roll the hip socket around, twisting and breaking up any forgotten energy. Bending the knee, twisting it over the body, opening the hip. Knee circles, hip circles. Switch knees, pulling one knee in, extending the other leg, twisting and turning and rolling the hip open and in and out. Breaking up any forgotten energy. Hug both knees in, tip them to one side, look out the other. Spinal twist. Come back to center, hug the knees in, and tip them to the other side. Spinal twist. Looking out at the fingertips. Feeling your connection to the ground. Pull your knees back to center, find happy baby, grabbing the outer blades of each foot with each hand and massaging the lower back by rocking side to side. Find stillness and play with bending one knee and extending the other leg. And you may either rock side to side or stay in stillness. Final inversion, shoulder stand, headstand, handstand, hips on a block, waterfall. Any final inversion you'd like before the end of this practice. Inverters, make your way down, shoulder stand, come into plow pose. Move from plow into temple squeeze pose. Rolling out onto the back, one vertebrae at a time. And setting up for Shavasana, heels at either corner of the mat, shoulder blades underneath the back, arms to the side body. Deep breath, inhale, sigh it out. Inhale, flutter the lips. Inhale, sigh it out once more. Shavasana. Come back into your body by deepening your breath. Slowly rock your head side to side, stacking chin over shoulder. And rock to the other side, stretching the sides of the neck. Come back to center. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Pull one knee in, followed by the next. Give yourself a great big hug, a big thankful hug for practicing today. And tip over to one side, finding the fetal position, protecting your head with your shoulder. And when you are ready, lift up into a seated position. Comfortable seat. Palms face down to ground, face up to receive. Recognizing how your body feels after this hour. Hands to prayer heart. Thank yourself for today's practice. Thank your body. Remember your intention. Thumb knuckles to third eye center. Bow and finish practice by saying Namaste. Namaste.